They say God works in mysterious ways. But what if your cat isn't just a pet? What if it's actually his secret messenger? Sarah never thought about that question until the night everything changed. 3 months ago, an orange tabby appeared at her apartment door at exactly 3 a.m., meowing like his life depended on it. Sarah thought she was just adopting a stray, but she had no idea she was about to uncover the most shocking spiritual truth that would completely shatter everything she believed about reality. What happened next with this cat, whom she named Mango, will change the way you see your own cat forever. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why millions of people are living with angels in disguise and never even knew it. At first, life with Mango seemed normal, until one Tuesday night when Sarah was watching Netflix and Mango suddenly froze. His ears shot up, fur standing on end, pupils wide as he stared into the empty corner of her living room. Then came a deep, low growl, aimed at nothing. Sarah felt a chill. That corner always seemed colder than the rest of the apartment. Days later, her neighbor revealed someone had been prowling the building late at night, testing doors and windows. Sarah realized Mango wasn't just being weird. He was scanning for threats she couldn't see. Ancient Egyptians placed cats in temples for this very reason: protection. Modern science now shows cats can sense electromagnetic fields, infrared radiation, and sound frequencies we can't detect. Mango wasn't just a pet. He was her personal spiritual security team, working 24/7 to keep her safe from dangers both physical and supernatural. But that was just the beginning of what Sarah would discover about Mango's true abilities. A few weeks later, Sarah fell into the worst depression of her life. She couldn't get out of bed, couldn't stop crying, felt like she was drowning in darkness. Every single time she broke down, Mango appeared, climbing onto her chest, purring so loudly it shook her bones. At first, Sarah thought he was just trying to comfort her. But then she learned something that gave her goosebumps. Cat purrs vibrate at 25 to 50 Hz, the exact same frequency hospitals use for bone healing and pain therapy. But it gets even more incredible. That's also the precise frequency of human prayer, meditation, and sacred chanting. When Tibetan monks chant, when Christians sing hymns, when yogis meditate, they all hit this same vibration. Mango wasn't just cuddling. He was performing spiritual healing that most humans spend years learning to master. He was literally praying for Sarah's soul while rewiring her nervous system. Studies show cat owners have 40% fewer heart attacks and recover from illness faster. Within weeks of Mango's constant treatments, Sarah's depression lifted in ways no medicine had ever managed. Her apartment had become a temple, with a monk who never stopped chanting prayers for her healing. But Mango's abilities went far beyond anything Sarah could have imagined. One evening, Sarah was scrolling on her phone when Mango suddenly arched his back, hissed, and planted himself between her and the hallway. His pupils were huge, his fur bristling like he was facing mortal danger. This time, Sarah grabbed her phone and filmed. What happened next defied explanation. The temperature near that hallway corner dropped by 15 degrees. Her EMF app went completely crazy. And Mango didn't move an inch. He stood guard like a tiny warrior shielding her from something invisible. Later, Sarah discovered that paranormal investigators always bring cats to haunted locations because cats detect supernatural presence before any equipment can. When cats hiss at empty corners, when their fur stands up for no reason, when they refuse to enter certain rooms, they're literally acting as spiritual bodyguards. Ancient cultures knew this secret. They placed cats in homes specifically to protect against negative entities, evil spirits, and dimensional beings that human eyes can't detect. That night, Sarah realized Mango wasn't just sensing spirits. He was actively blocking them from reaching her. He was scanning multiple dimensions simultaneously. keeping her spiritual space clean and protected. But the question remained, how did Mango know to choose Sarah in the first place? Sarah began to notice how Mango reacted differently to each person who visited. When her judgmental sister came over, Mango hid. With her narcissistic boss, he hissed and stayed away. But with her lonely neighbor, he purred and rubbed affectionately. With the kind elderly man next door, Mango sat at his window like a silent companion. That's when Sarah realized the shocking truth. Mango hadn't randomly ended up with her. He had chosen her. Cats possess the ability to see your soul's actual color and energy signature. They can sense emotional frequencies, depression, loneliness, anxiety, from incredible distances. They're like cosmic paramedics, dispatched to the humans who need healing most. If a cat chose you out of millions of possible humans, your soul has been certified as pure light by the universe's most accurate scanner. Cats reject people with dark energy, manipulative intentions, or harmful vibrations, but they're magnetically drawn to healers, empaths, and light workers. Mango looked at Sarah's brokenness and seemed to say, "I can fix this human." His love wasn't just affection, it was divine validation that she was spiritually worthy. But Sarah was about to discover something even more mind-bending about Mango's true nature. 3 days before Sarah's car accident, Mango refused to let her leave the house. He blocked the door, meowed frantically, even bit her shoelaces. She thought he was being clingy, until the crash happened in the exact place she would have been driving. 2 weeks before her grandmother's passing, Mango began sleeping on her grandmother's favorite chair every night, as if keeping vigil. A week before Sarah received the job offer that changed her life, Mango became extra affectionate, purring constantly as if celebrating something that hadn't happened yet. That's when Sarah discovered the impossible truth. Cats don't experience time like we do. Past, present, future, they're all one big now to them. They exist partially outside linear time, which allows them to see the movie of your life from beginning to end while you're still living it, scene by scene. Japanese researchers discovered cats can detect P waves from earthquakes up to 5 days early. But it's not just natural disasters. Cats predict human death with 95% accuracy in nursing homes. They sense energy shifts in the time-space continuum that haven't happened yet in our timeline. Mango wasn't being weird, he was being fourth-dimensional. A time traveler showing Sarah glimpses of what was coming, protecting her timeline, and preparing her for future events. And the universe had been using cats as messengers for thousands of years. Sarah's research led her to a discovery that gave her full-body goosebumps. Every major world religion mentions cats as divine messengers. Every single one. Ancient Egypt worshipped Bastet. Islam revered cats. Prophet Muhammad loved them. Norse mythology described Freya's chariot drawn by cats. Buddhism sees cats as spiritual bridges. Hindu texts spoke of cats as carriers of karma. This wasn't coincidence. This was universal truth spanning thousands of years across cultures that never contacted each other. Sarah began to notice Mango's behavior differently. The random meows at 3 a.m., the way he left gifts on her doorstep, the way he always sat in her meditation corner at sunrise. These weren't just quirks, they were messages. Ancient priests could read cat behaviors like sacred texts. The universe was using Mango as a living phone line, sending Sarah guidance through his mysterious actions. Every look, every sound, every ritual was a form of cosmic mail delivered directly to her soul. But Mango was doing something else while Sarah slept that she never could have imagined. Sarah noticed Mango slept 16 hours a day, sometimes even more. At first, she thought he was lazy, but then she realized the shocking truth. While Sarah went about her day carrying stress, negativity, and bad karma from work conflicts and family drama, Mango was absorbing it all. At night, he wasn't simply sleeping. He was working the night shift in the spiritual realm. Sarah began to feel lighter after spending time with him, like a weight had been lifted. And that's exactly what was happening. Mango was cleaning her spiritual mess. He absorbed toxic energy, processed it during deep meditation, and returned pure love when he woke. Ancient mystics knew this secret. They kept cats specifically to maintain spiritual balance in their homes and temples. Mango was running a 24/7 karmic laundry service, taking Sarah's dirty energy and returning it spotless. Without him, she would have been drowning in her own spiritual pollution. But the most incredible truth was still to come. One evening, as Sarah looked into Mango's eyes, she felt something that sent chills down her spine. His gaze wasn't that of a simple animal. It was wise, ancient, like he had lived thousands of lifetimes. Her research confirmed the impossible. Cats don't just have 9 lives. They have infinite lives. They are immortal spiritual beings, temporarily wearing cat bodies, cycling through endless assignments to help humanity evolve. That explained Mango's human-like personality, his knowing look, his uncanny understanding of her emotions. When Sarah bonded with him so deeply, she wasn't just connecting to a pet. She was recognizing a soul that may have guided her ancestors, her past lives, even historical figures throughout time. Mango wasn't just her cat. He was an immortal teacher who had chosen to sacrifice his own spiritual advancement to serve as her guide in animal form. That was the deepest love possible. But their connection went even deeper than she realized. Sarah started having vivid dreams where Mango appeared to guide her. In one dream, he led her through a library where she discovered a book about healing. 2 weeks later, she found her gift for energy healing in real life. In another dream, he shielded her from a shadowy figure. The next day, she avoided a dangerous situation by pure instinct. Ancient shamans believed cats could dream walk, separating their consciousness from their physical bodies to cross into human dreams and deliver warnings, healing, or guidance. Mango wasn't resting when he slept. He was clocking in for night shift duty in the astral world, visiting multiple humans who needed guidance. Every time Sarah dreamt of petting him, she woke with a strange peace, as if she had received energy healing directly from another dimension. Her bedroom wasn't just a place to sleep. It was an interdimensional meeting point where Mango's soul could work overtime to guide her spirit. And he was protecting something even more precious than her dreams. Sarah realized Mango wasn't just predicting her future. He was actively protecting it. There were times he blocked her path, made her late, or refused to let her leave, only for her to later discover she had narrowly avoided danger or life-altering mistakes. Cats exist partially outside linear time, which means they can detect when negative forces try to manipulate or damage your life path. When Mango acted difficult or stubborn, he wasn't being troublesome. He was being protective of Sarah's cosmic journey. He was essentially a timeline security guard, ensuring Sarah's soul completed its intended mission without interference from dark forces trying to derail her spiritual progress. Before her career breakthrough, he grew distant, preparing her for independence. Before her spiritual awakening, he became clingy, flooding her with healing energy for the transformation ahead. Before she met her soulmate, he spent long hours beside her, as if he knew she was about to love someone else. Mango was like a spiritual weatherman, forecasting storms and sunshine in Sarah's destiny before they arrived. But the final truth about their connection was the most beautiful of all. One evening, Sarah sat with Mango curled on her lap, and a realization hit her like lightning. This bond didn't start in this lifetime. She learned that before souls are born, they make agreements, contracts written in the spiritual realm. and she believed Mango had signed an eternal one with her. That explained the instant connection she felt the night he appeared at her door at 3 a.m. Their souls recognized each other. They had met before, in other lifetimes, in other forms, sometimes as human and cat, sometimes both as different species, sometimes even both as people. This wasn't just companionship. It was an unbreakable spiritual agreement that transcends physical death. The love they shared was written in the cosmic records as an eternal promise. When Mango eventually passes away, he won't be gone. He'll be waiting in the next dimension while watching over Sarah from the spirit realm. This bond will continue through infinite lifetimes until both their souls complete their evolutionary journey together. And the ultimate truth about why cats exist will transform how you see love forever. Sarah finally understood the most powerful truth of all. Mango wasn't from Earth. He was a universal love ambassador sent from the highest spiritual dimensions to teach humanity what pure, unconditional love actually looks like. Every cat is a direct representative of divine love consciousness, incarnated in physical form to demonstrate God's love through their actions. When Mango chose to love Sarah despite her flaws, forgave her instantly after mistakes, offered comfort without judgment, and stayed loyal regardless of circumstances, he was showing her a perfect example of how the universe loves all of us. Cats are living tutorials in divine love, sent to prepare humanity for our spiritual evolution into higher consciousness. Every purr is a love transmission from the cosmic heart. Every gentle head bump is a blessing from universal source energy. Mango was literally an angel in disguise, and when Sarah learned to love him unconditionally, she had learned the closest thing to loving as God loves. That's the ultimate spiritual achievement possible. 6 months later, Sarah's life was unrecognizable. She had discovered her gift as a healer. She found her soulmate. She finally felt at peace with herself and her purpose. And through every step of that transformation, Mango had been there, watching her with those knowing eyes, as if he had orchestrated it all. That's when Sarah finally understood. Mango wasn't just her cat. He was a divine messenger, a guardian, and a teacher of love who had chosen her long before she even knew he existed. And here's the truth. If you've ever felt your cat staring at you like they know more than you do, if they comfort you at your lowest or act strangely before something happens, chances are you've been living with an angel in disguise all along. So, the next time your cat curls up on your chest or meows at the empty air, don't brush it off. Listen, because they might just be delivering a message meant only for you. If this story opened your eyes, hit that like button and share it with every cat lover you know. Drop a comment telling me the most mysterious thing your cat has ever done. I read every single one.